Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show. And today we're going to talk about, is there one more pump or one final pump before the dump? We're going to look at the SPY, we're going to look at Bitcoin, we're going to look at some other trades as well. Stay tuned. Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people. I appreciate those of you who take the time to flood those comment section. I appreciate all your feedback there. It does help support the channel. And if you're new, welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification, and you won't miss out on my daily updates. Well, we're going to just really jump straight into the charts here. And we're going to look firstly at the SPY. And yesterday I said the line in the sand that we need to hold above was that crucial 680 level. You can see it there. You can see it over here as well as being crucial areas of support there. Resistance there was resistance. Now that's been flipped into support, support here, resistance, support. So it's been a little choppy, by the way. I do want to point out there is a potential left shoulder head, and if this was to come back and have any kind of a pullback in the month of December there, we could see a nice right shoulder and maybe have a technical target to the upside there. So that's what I'm looking for, 680 above, and we do need to get above this candle here. Well, the high of that candle was, let's round it up to 685. So we do need to get to that 686, 685, 686 level to make a higher high. We've got a high here, then we've got a lower high, and right now we've got a lower high here. So we do want to make a higher high, otherwise we have another lower high, and then I would expect us to make some kind of a move to the downside, even if it's small. We could even come back down to these low 660s levels, but we'll just see how these levels play out. The first level that needs to hold is at 680. So I'm long above 680 and then short below 680. And I shared those levels in the Discord for those of you who took that play. And remember, I did give the 663 play there also all the way up to 682. Fantastic long trade there for those that took that trade. And then, of course, support down below 680 is going to be at 675 level, 674 there, and 673. So between 673 and 675, there should be a strong level of support here. And it wouldn't be bad, actually, if we came down and made that right shoulder, found support here, came back up, broke the neckline, and that would give us a nice technical target for a new all-time high. But so we'll keep an eye on that. Of course, there's a lot of ifs and maybes there, and very much we have to be traders that are able to trade the trend. And while it's going up, we're long. And if the trend were to drop, like we see the tribal trades indicator, one indicator to rule them all, gave that bearish reversal signal, we could have played a short to the downside. And then again, beautiful tribal trades indicator back to the upside there for the SPY. Now, of course, we have the FOMC meeting. The Fed is going to decide on whether there'll be interest rate cut this month there. So that we have that coming up. We have CPI, we have other government data that can affect and influence. And of course, who knows what other news is going to be tweeted out on X at any point. And of course, don't forget the Bank of Japan had their interest rate hike decision on December the 19th. When they have hiked rates, which is not very often, they can go decades without hiking rates. It is historically been extremely bearish for the SPY. I did share about that earlier this week, and I will do a video leading up to that. My general feeling is I would be surprised if they did hike rates in December just before Christmas. It would make more sense for them to do it if they were going to do it, to just wait one more month and do it in January like they did in the late January of 2025, which I believe was in part led to the February sell-off that we saw, the February, March, April down to April dump. So I'll keep you updated with that. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we get closer to the date, but I would be surprised if they did hike rates. They might just push it to January, but then the powder keg is pushed to January, and we could possibly see a repeat of what we saw in 2025. And I'll share a lot more about why that could possibly be the case and why historically, when Japan does hike rates, it does lead to pullbacks in the US stock market. Talking about pullbacks, and the title of the show is there going to be one more pump before the dump? Let's just recap. And if you're new, let's talk about the 50-week moving average. I said back here in April of this year, if this held, this would be where you want to buy. Ride this up. For those of you got in the trade there, incredible gains. The tribal trades indicator gave a beautiful bearish reversal signal right on cue in October there. Or just before October there, and that is when the top has been. And this could be the top because this was meant to be the top. In October was meant to be the month that Bitcoin put in its top, and it's happened just like clockwork. There's all the people that say the 4-year cycle is dead. The 4-year cycle is not dead. It's not broken. It's fully alive. It's like giving me something, a plate, and telling me it's broken, and I look at the plate and it's not broken. It's not broken until it's broken. And nothing is broken yet about the 4-year cycle. Currently, it's playing out like it always has. Now, if the cycle does break, and I'll show you a couple of things that it would do to break the cycle, then I'll say, sure, the cycle is broken because there is clear evidence of that. Right now, it's playing out exactly as it has always played out in its history. And I'm amazed by people that put more faith in something that's never happened before, the super cycle, than and put no faith in the 4-year cycle that's always happened before and is currently playing out exactly as it always has. Bitcoin, 500 days after the halving, puts in its cycle top. That's exactly what's happened, and that landed in the month of October. I warned and warned and warned and warned people about it, and that's exactly what happened. And so the first thing that we wanted to see, of course, was price close, consecutive weekly candles under the 50-week moving average. That happens. That's generally confirmation of the bear market. The next thing that happens is a test and a hold of the 100 EMA on the weekly. That's happened. 1, 2, 3, held. The next thing that happens after holding on the 100 EMA on the weekly is a retest of the 200-day moving average. Go back through the cycles. This has happened every single time. Okay, 200-day moving average. It retests, and then usually will, even though it goes above, usually will close below and reject. Okay, so that's the step that we're up to at the moment. All right. Now, this could be a bit of a bear flag here on the weekly, and then if we lost the 100 EMA and just capitulated down from there, that would be doing something Bitcoin hasn't really done before. I wouldn't be prepared to say the 4-year cycle is necessarily broken at that point. However, if Bitcoin was to come up to the 200-day moving average, break above it, consecutive weekly candle closes above it, then push through and bust above $117,000 level here, I would be prepared to say, hey, the super cyclist, you can start tooting your horn. Maybe you were right there, and maybe this time is different, and maybe the 4-year cycle is broken. But until then, sit down, because right now the 4-year cycle is playing out as it always has played out. And I have guided every step of the way. I gave shorts down to 90K. That happened. I actually gave another short down here to 92, another one down here to 86, and I gave another one down here to 81. They all played out, and you could have just printed money shorting it all the way down as I gave those trades. I then gave a trade long up to 90, this 93 level. That played out. 89, 92 level, gave a long. And then there is another long that I gave, and now it's currently rejecting at 93. And so here is where we are at. There is a nice W pattern formation here. That is bullish. That's a bullish pattern. The technical target for that is 105,000. Where is the 200-day moving average at 109, but decreasing? So we might see these diverge as if Bitcoin continues to make its way up slowly this could come down and we could have a nice meeting point of where we broke down from over here at about 105, 106,000 around that level. Okay. And then the next step would be, if the 4 year cycle plays out, as a capitulation down to the 200-week moving average. Now, remember, in history, Bitcoin has never made a new all time high after losing the 50-week moving average, which it's done, without first coming down and touching the 50-week moving average, which is at 55, but it should be 56 over the next couple of weeks, and it will keep rising slowly while price stays above it. Okay, so that's the playbook that we're currently in. Now, if the playbook changes, I'll be the first one to update you and say, hey, maybe something's going to be a little bit different. Remember, with trading, we always need to keep an open mind. Remember, trading is never certainty, it's always probabilities. And right now, the highest probability is that the 4 year cycle is playing out. The lowest probability is the super cycle. If that switches and changes, I'll be the first one to say, hey, now the 4 year cycle is a low probability and the super cycle is a much higher probability. But we're going to have to see a lot of moves to the upside to see confirmation that the 4 year cycle is broken. Remember, it's not broken until it's broken. All right. So that's what we're looking at the moment. The key area to get through is $93,049. That is this high right here. Now, we have made a higher high here, so that's good. So low, higher low, and then a high, and then a higher high. But we haven't managed to close above this level. So we must see Bitcoin get above and close above $93,049, and then we can look for more trade to the upside. Now, of course, you might be saying, well, I don't want to wait till it gets to 106 or 109 before I. No, you can look, I gave a trade here at 81 all the way up to 89. I gave another trade at 85 all the way up to the 89, $92,000 level. If it rejects here and we see another, what you'll see is the next day's candle will come up. This will reject. We'll see another rejection here, like we saw over here, one here and then another and then four. That would be a place to close the trade, open up a short back to the downside. It could very much, even if it rejects here, doesn't mean that it's not going to come up and get this final push. It might just go a little bit lower, some more people to go short, so there's more people to liquidate on the way up for the market makers there. If you know and have been following my channel around for a while, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about there. So 93,000 is the line in the sand. Above that, to go long, and rejection there to go short back to the downside there for Bitcoin. So that's the Bitcoin trade there. Let me know your thoughts on what you think can be happening next there. Let's quickly look at yesterday's trade. Rivian, some people made some money on this trade. Absolutely fantastic. I do want to quickly share a couple of things here. $17.15 is a massive level. Every time there has been rejection and close below that level, we've come back to the $12, $13 area. Again, you see even rejection here. It didn't even get up to that level, down to 13, 12. And then the last time it came down, it hit $13 down here. It seems to be $12 to $13 a good level to get in and then ride that up to that 17. So this is how important the $17.15 level is. If it can maintain above here, and even though we had a close, it just dumped straight back down. So we really do need a weekly candle close above this level here. And of course, for those of you in the trade, the $17.15 is the line in the sand, a loss of that level, and warning, it could drop to the downside. Does that mean, oh, should I get out of the trade? Really, you have to decide that for yourself. If I've got $100 in the trade, I'm probably just going to keep it and not sell it. My position size is my stop loss, and so therefore, if I've got $100 in the trade, I'm probably saying, look, I'll see you in your year, and I'll see you what price is down the road, and I'll probably add to it down lower at these levels. So you really have to have a trade plan when you go into a trade. Where are you going to take profits? Where are you going to stop out at? What are you going to do if the trade goes up and then reverses? Are you just going to hold it to the downside and add to it and then ride it back up? You must have a trade plan before you get in the trade. Otherwise, not recommended that you take the trade, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? Because I don't know how much money you have in the trade or what it means to you or what your exact entry was. Only you can make those decisions for your finances. It's your money. I'm not a financial advisor. But $17.15 is the line in the sand for this trade. That's the level that it must hold. And of course, if it can, and it hasn't, okay, it really hasn't. And if it can, there are some nice technical targets to 19, 21, and $22 to the upside. And if it doesn't, then I would expect it to come down and at least come back and retest 15.95, and potentially historically it just seems to come back like a magnet to that $12 and $13 level. So just be careful on that trade there. You'll trade it very differently whether you're trading $100 compared to maybe $10,000, and it also depends how much that money means to you. And so those are always things to consider. In the pre-market, it's at $17.33 at the moment. So that trade is above our level there. And of course, some people already took some profit. There's nothing wrong with if it pumps up and begins to pull back. Take the profits. I'm very much a see profit, take profit kind of perfect there. I don't know why we lost those lines there just for a moment. There we go. They're back. Very much a C profit. You could have technically got in, taken profit, got back in the trade on the green arrow. And then if you got in over here, I know some people who took some profit. We see that in the Tribal Trades Discord. Doc here took some profit there on the Rivian trade. They're absolutely fantastic. I know many other people also took some profit on that trade, and there's nothing wrong with that as well. Maybe some of you just saw it as a short-term trade. Maybe some of you will see it as a long-term trade. And that's also what's important in trading, is to have a real definitive goal for the trade. Is this just a quick in and out trade, or am I looking to take it a little bit more long term? Or do you have two different portfolios and you hold them in both, one for the longer term and one for the quick in and out trade, which is, of course, as you would know if you've been trading my channel, watching my channel for any length of time, my preferred trading philosophy for those stocks that I have real conviction about. I like having more of the longer term portfolio and also trade it in a different brokerage in the shorter time frames as well, so I can get in and out. And I love Ginger here, new to the Discord. She used the tribal trade indicator to make money when Nvidia dropped. She bought some Nvidia puts. She made some profit there. Looks to be about $279. Absolutely fantastic. And that's what the tribal trades indicator is all about. Now, of course, yesterday I shared that the price of the Discord was meant to have gone up yesterday. However, there was a glitch or a bug or an error that the WOP team, WHOP, are working on. And currently, the $49 per month, all access gold, grandfathered in until January 2028 rate is still available there and will be still available until WOP fix the issue. They assure me they have engineers working on this to figure out why that price increase isn't able to be updated. I am powerless to update that. All that means is that Cyber Monday, which was meant to be the last day, so far is turning into Cyber Tuesday and Cyber Wednesday. However, if you're watching this video and the price has changed, then they fixed it and the deal is off. So the $49 per month deal is only going to last as long as it takes for WOP to fix the issue that is currently on my WOP sign up page. And you can see this WOP sign up waitlist page below in the description. And many of you took advantage of that additional day and flooded into the Discord yesterday. And that's totally fine. I'm going to honor that. Not that I can really do anything about it, because the price is the price that's showing as $49 a month. But when that finishes, and that could finish, they could tell me they fixed it in 5 minutes, 5 hours, hopefully not another day, but it might be. I'm not sure what the root or cause of the issue is. They're working on that. They're very unusual and puzzling, but this just might provide some of you an opportunity, especially those of you who are maybe on the fence and thinking about whether to do it or not. Maybe this is a sign, maybe it's not, I don't know, but I'm just letting you know that it still is available there. If you in the description, you might need to click the more button that will pop out. There is the first top link. You click on that, and if you see $49, the deal is still on. If you see $79, you know it's over and the price has gone up. Now, remember, this is never to be repeated again. Okay, the $49 for new signups will never be repeated again. That is going away. This is the last, last chance here. I just don't know how long it's going to be available. We'll see. I don't have control over that, but maybe that's a gift for some of you. Some of you yesterday took huge advantage of that, jumping into the Discord. That comes with the Tribal Trade Signals indicator. It comes with the new indicator that were being released before Christmas being scheduled, and the new indicators next year, and all the channels through until January of 2028. And remember, the price is going up to $79, and then next year it's going up to $100 there. So that $49 a month will never be repeated again. Okay. So there you go. Maybe Christmas has come early for some of you, getting that gift of getting in early there with the Tribal Trades Discord. And that's all I have time for today. And remember, the Discord is no lock-in at all. So there, if it doesn't work for you or you don't have time, we just wish you all the best. But I just know when you come into the Tribal Trades Discord and you see the life-changing gains and the wealth transformational journey that we are on, our 1K per day challenge that we are relentlessly pursuing there. I just know that you're just not going to want to leave. All right. Well, that's all we have time for until I see you on the Discord, or I'll see you tomorrow here on the Tribal Trades YouTube channel. Happy trading.